All right. Steve with Real Progressives. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about the Democrats and how they genuinely just truly despise progressives. I'm going to show you a clip, a great clip, of Nancy Pelosi and AOC and their whole diatribe back and forth, and this whole concept of what the Democratic Party is and is not. And before we get into this, I want to say this clearly. You know, I care about policy. I'm not a vote blue anything. I'm not a vote green anything. I care about policy. I care about people. I care very, very much about improving the lives of everyone. So my only goal for doing any of these things is that lone purpose, nothing else. I gain nothing from it. Hell, if nobody even watches it, I'd still do it. Bottom line is that we are in a fight, a big fight, a fight for not just the heart of the Democratic Party, but a fight for where our lives are going to be. I'm not interested in people not getting this. I'm really very, very disturbed at how many people don't get this, how many people are off and distracted. It looks really, really bad from my vantage point. And part of this is you're watching someone like AOC fighting tooth and nail, and you're watching the establishment laugh it off. You're watching regular vote blue, no matter who, people calling people Macedonians and Russians. Are you Putin bot? This stuff is still in play. There has been no meaningful legislation proposed to fix our election system. There has been no meaningful effort to get rid of superdelegates. What they've done so far is window dressing or lipstick on a pig. There's a few people out there that try and sell you that they have done so much. They're lying to you. They're lying. Nothing's changed. Nothing meaningful anyway. Unfortunately, the progressive movement got butthurt because Bernie went ahead and said, let me check my calculus. How do I have the longest longevity to try and enact this vision I have of a Green New Deal, of another FDR Second Bill of Rights? How do I do that? Do I do that with a Green Party that genuinely hates economics? Or do I try and go where all the other voters, the massive amount of voters are that actually show up and vote, these vote blue fools? Do I stick there and try to take the poor lefties that have been left behind and build a coalition strong enough to change the country? And he did, and that's what he's doing. But there's a lot of people out there that don't get it, and they decide to take shit on it. And that's a shame. That's a real shame, because it really hurts all of our lives that they've done that, especially these vote blue sycophants. vote blues such as Nancy Pelosi, the core establishment Democrat, these Republicans. I mean, there was a time, I think. I mean, I don't want to have to go all the way back to FDR, but maybe you do have to go all the way back to FDR. Maybe the Democrats have been trading on the successes of yesteryear for so long that they've forgotten to even have a soul, much less what their soul is. I don't think they even have a clue how few of us actually want to hear them sidestepping Medicare for all. I don't think they realize how few of us actually want to hear about the fact that they don't want to give college away to the people of America for free. I don't think they want to hear the fact that we are looking to end student debt. I don't think they want to hear any of it. That doesn't sound like a party for progressives, does it? That doesn't sound like a group of people that have regular people's best interest at heart, does it? It sounds like Republicans, and I can't even say they have better bedside manners anymore. So it's terribly frightening when I look at what we've got to face here. It's scary. So let's go ahead and play this NPR clip. It's about 3 minutes and 36 seconds, I think it is, with AOC and Nancy Pelosi. So you see right there is a huge battle going on. Many people checked out, tried to call Bernie a sheepdog, didn't stick around for AOC. I've seen people that I once liked and cared about calling her a fraud and all kinds of other stuff, and it sickens me. It sickens me that the QAnon gang is more in touch with QAnon than what these people are doing. And I'm telling you right now, I have been betrayed by Democrats my whole life, and I'm watching them try and do it again, calling people Russians and all this other bullshit. You could say they're brainwashed, but there's options there. They've shut down their minds. They don't listen. They have no interest in what we're doing, and they genuinely think we're just a squeaky wheel. And you could see it. They're just 4 votes. They're just 4 votes. Now, I don't see the squad, if you will, as just a couple minority women. I see them as the future of progressivism, which represents me too as a white man. So I don't really care so much. It's great to see them rising up. It's good to see other faces, other voices. But as for me, a white man, I'm looking at them and I'm saying, I'll follow you because you guys got the right ideas. You guys are fighting for the right things. And of those, let's give Ocasio-Cortez her due. She's the only one of the bunch that actually gets economics. So when you look at Pelosi and you look at the Democrats, I am telling you right now, unfortunately, Pelosi was right on the money about one thing. They're just 4 votes, and that's all they got. The rest of the Democrats behaved as boll weevils, behaved as Dixiecrats, behaved as Republicans that we supposedly all hate, right? I got to tell you, I was at a rally last night in Harrisburg. Great thing about immigration. But every single one of those speakers, every single one of them, talked about taxes paying for things. And they were carrying the neoliberal economic belief while simultaneously fighting for the rights of immigrants, not realizing that the very thing that they're saying about the tax dollars are one of the key things that the massive, huge, vocal majority, or I should say silent majority, of Democrats stand against. Their hard-earned tax dollars go to things. Their hard-earned tax dollars. And this is a huge divide. Although there's only 4 representing progressives right now with any strength, with any conviction, only one of them actually understands how the economy works. That's no joke, and that is terrifying. But the Democrats don't have bold policy proposals, with the exception of Bernie Sanders. And apologies to the Tulsi gang. Bernie Sanders is the only one fighting for a Green New Deal. Bernie Sanders is the only one fighting for any of this stuff. So we got the squad, and then we got Bernie. The rest of them coming up with neoliberal ham sandwiches. Well, some people that deserve this, other people that deserve that, and we'll give these people this and those people don't deserve that. Once again, the big divide. The idea of healthcare as a right is not just poppycock. It's not just a bumper sticker. I want to explain this to you. If healthcare is not a right, then it's a privilege. If it's a privilege, they can decide who gets it and who doesn't get it. But if it's a right, everyone gets it. And then it can't be taken away because it's everyone's right. Do you understand what I'm saying? When it comes to education, if you say education should be a right, that means that everyone gets it, even the people you don't like, even the rich people. It doesn't matter. Education is a right. When you start saying only these people deserve it and some of those people don't deserve it, then it's a privilege and then it can be taken away. The fight for the soul of the Democratic Party exceeds the AOC versus Nancy Pelosi paradigm. It comes right down to what do you want? You know, in my career, I do a lot of things with requirements gathering. I try to determine what the requirements of the business owner is or are. What do they need me to build to make their problem go away? And I'll sit down with them and I'll ask them probing questions and I'll find out the things that make their lives better, that solve the problem, that get to the core issue. And then I and then I give them what they need. It should be the exact same with politics. Now tell me, friends, how many of you would like to pay for your health care? How many of you would like to pay for student loans? The great generation that had all their student loans and pensions and all the other bells and whistles that used to be there for people, but these people allowed neoliberalism to strip from us and our children and our grandchildren. Those people, the vote blues, the core of the vote blue, the former hippies that got to see the dead in their heyday, damn you, but forgot what it meant. Those people are busy shaming people for fighting for these things because they call it divisive. Well, yes, change is divisive. People, it's called conservatism, resist change. Let me say that again. It's called conservatism. It's called being a conservative, regardless of whether your name is Democrat or your name is Republican. It is a resistance to change is called conservatism. It is a conservative trait. And these people are conservatives. You can call them Democrats till the cows come home. They are boll weevil conservatives. And they aren't trying to change. They don't like progressives. They hate progressives. Despise them. Call them Bernie babies. Bernie bros. Cry babies. You name it. Fighting for their very existence. And AOC and the squad are in there and they're not taking any shit. But the party is overloaded with these vote blue sycophants. Vote blue no matter who. Telling people not to eat our own. Well, who is our own? Define our own. As progressives, if you're neoliberal, you are not our own. You're one of them. You're a Republican, and whether you say Democrat or not, it doesn't matter. Your behavior, your voting, your way of life, your very existence is that of a conservative Republican. Embrace it, strap it on. It's you. Because Democrats have forgotten that they're the party of FDR. They sit there and act like this thing that made them great at one time, they're acting like that is communism and socialism. Folks, I kid you not. Democrats are running from the name FDR. Not running towards it, embracing it, running from it. Now you see people up on the stage and they say a few things that make you think, oh, Bernie's had a huge impact on the party. Look at this, look at that, look at the other. I'm telling you right now, the average voter isn't paying any attention. They like who's got a winning smile. They like who they saw up there with Obama last. They love their party people. They'll fall in line. That's the deal. That's how they roll. So this divide in the Democratic Party, it exceeds an election cycle. You know, I'm going to say something that I never thought I would say in my entire life. The Dem Enter strategy may be the only way to change that party. Now, I'm not saying to Dem Enter, but I am saying this. These people are so lodged in their way of thinking, and there are so many of them. They aren't listening. They don't care. Anytime you tell them you're hurting, that your heart hurts, that you've got a wound, that you're dying, they say vote blue no matter who. Stop being divisive. You tell them, oh my God, if I can't get out of this debt, I'm going to fucking hang myself. And they say, do it quietly, motherfucker. And if you fire back at them, they go, oh, typical white privilege, typical Bernie bro, typical this. And you lose again. They not only don't want to hear what you have to say, but when you try to say it, they shut you down with some identity politics bullshit. Has nothing to do with what you're saying at all. I mean, it may as well be peanuts. Misogynist. White privilege. And it's not like they're really talking about white privilege, which is a legitimate thing. They're using it to shut you down. They're using it to shut you up. They're not interested in change. They are conservatives. And conservatives hate change. Well, you know, I paid my student loans off. You should too. Well, no shit, snapperhead. Your student loans were $5,000 back in 1972. Not even probably $1,200 for a whole damn degree. Well, now it's $127,000 fucking dollars. Choke on that one. It's revolting. And you sit there and you watch them on their fucking $30,000 Harley Davidsons cruising around in retirement, telling people, get over it. Quit crying. And it's like, well, how are you affording all this stuff? Well, I saved. No, you got a fucking pension, asshole. And pensions have been done away with for an awful long time. And none of us have one. And many of us got displaced. So now what? Just vote blue. Stop being divisive. You should have made better choices. No. The heart and soul of the Democratic Party is either going to be fixed by us doing one-on-one combat with each individual, changing them through different ways, private conversations, talking to them on the phone, having coffee with them, doing whatever. Because I'm telling you right now, they are drones. They're a drone army, and they vote blue no matter who, and they don't care if you die. They are going to vote blue. They don't give two shits about what it is you care about unless Nancy Pelosi tells them to move. Unless one of their vote blue people tells them what to do. Hell, they're still sitting there saying, Bernie should have never ran. He's not a real Democrat. So this divide hasn't gotten any better. In fact, I watch progressives saying, well, I give up. I'm not doing this. I'm not helping out that. Fuck them. They're corporate owned. They're this or that, the other. Folks, regular people are getting elected. And they aren't bought and paid for yet. There is a chance, but you've got to stick with it. This shit doesn't happen just because you're angry one day. Oh, well, it didn't happen in my time, so I'm moving on. No. I'm telling you right now, I'm furious. I'm worn out. I'm toast. I'm done. I'm freaking so unbelievably worn out with seeing people not get it. But they're not getting it. There's some people that are getting it, but most aren't. And they don't care. They genuinely don't care. Hey, we'll worry about that neoliberal stuff later. Until then, let's just vote blue. Don't be divisive. We got to beat Trump. Everything doesn't matter except for Trump and Russians. All that Medicare for all stuff's divisive. Stop talking about it. Stop talking about neoliberalism. Folks, you know the Republican Party. They are who they thought they were. They haven't changed. Their stripes are the same. The Democratic Party, however, is literally the Republican Party with better bedside manners. And that's being generous, because I don't think they have better bedside manners. Quite frankly, I find it terrifying. You know, I was cutting the grass earlier today and I thought to myself, if I had to deal with someone coming at me for real and was going to end my life, would I rather it be someone who was just genuinely raging and did something stupid, or would I prefer it be someone who smiles at me while they shove a knife up in my back? And I got to tell you, man, not that I ever want to die either way, but give me the person who I know is genuinely pissed so I see it coming. Unless you got a mirror over your shoulder to see the guy stabbing you in the back when they hug you, Democrats do it every time. And it's devastating. But that's how much work has to be done if you want to see progressive policies enacted. I'm telling you, I'm sitting there at that march last night. And it's in my own backyard. And I realized people didn't know who real progressives are in Harrisburg. Nobody announced themselves as real progressives. And more to the point, none of them had heard any of our message. None of them. It was shocking. It was appalling. I mean, it was a beautiful event. But it really told me how hard it is to get information out. How unwilling people are to share that information. And it broke my heart in the worst possible way. It really made me second guess an awful lot of things. Because, obviously, if you don't got it in your own backyard, what the hell, man? And here we are with a whole country. We got to roll up our sleeves if we want to see the change we want. Because the Democrats are full of conservatives, and they don't want to change. Running off and starting a third party may feel good, but I think it's pretty clear the numbers aren't there. I think it's pretty clear also that a lot of the people trying to start third parties are ready to do neoliberal economics as well, and it serves no value. So it really comes down to personal relationships, and each one teach one. And I hope to goodness progressives figure it out soon, instead of just throwing their hands up in the air and quitting, because our enemy, both inside the Democratic Party and in the Republican Party and the ruling class party, is very organized. They don't screw around. And they know where the kill zone is. They don't miss an opportunity to talk about the impact, the lack of understanding of the taxpayer dollar does to immigrants at an immigrant rally. They don't miss that. They don't miss an opportunity to shoot that silver bullet right into the heart of the problem. But progressives do. Progressives miss a lot of opportunities to make progress. And we're going to have to do a lot better. because the numbers are stacked against us. And the momentum, well, there isn't a lot, because the vote blues hate progressives. I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a good night.